Okay, so I'm going to give you a very quick overview of unit testing in BlueJ. First thing you need to do is open up some kind of project. I've opened up the ticket machine project, the Better Ticket Machine project that's in the Chapter 2 examples from the book. And what you want to do at first, you only need to do this once, is go to Tools and Preferences, and then click on the Miscellaneous tab and select Show Unit Testing Tools. Make sure that's checked off. Okay. Now, when you're running, when you're writing your code, here's my ticket machine code. You know, as you're writing it, you may have no syntax errors when you compile it, but you still may have some bugs in it. For example, let's mess with this code, and on the print ticket method, which generally checks whether the balance is greater than or equal to price, let's just check whether the balance is greater than price. Okay, so we've put a bug in our code just so I can demonstrate what I'm doing. So let me compile. And of course, if we start testing now, what's going to happen is, you know, it's not going to work if I have exactly the right amount of money in there. So I could just do what I normally do, make a new ticket machine, and let's make it for $5. So let's call it ticket 1, and let's make it for $5, 500, and say okay. There's my new ticket machine, and let's just double click on it so I can inspect it. And the price is 500. Right now I have a balance of 0. And, you know, if I insert money and I insert 300 cents, then my balance goes up. And if I insert money and now I insert 350 cents, okay, and now I try to print a ticket, and it says ticket 500 cents, and it puts those 500 cents in there. I still have 150 cent balance. If I right click on here and say print another ticket, it says, oh, you must insert at least 350 more cents. Very good. So let's suppose I insert money and I insert 350 cents. Okay, that's good. So I have 500 cents in my balance and the price is 500. So it should work, except of course I entered that bug in there. So now I say print ticket, and it says you must insert at least 0 more cents. And I say, oh my goodness, I need to fix this. All right. It's likely I may want to repeat what I just did a number of times, right? I may fix something and want to try this exact scenario out again. And what the unit testing tools let you do is they let you test the same sequence of clicks on the BlueJ tool again and again. So let me show you. Let me clear this window out, just so we have a nice clear terminal window. So I clicked on Options and then Clear. And let's close that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say I want a new class, but instead of making the normal class we're used to, class, I'm going to click on Unit Test. I need to give it a name. Let's call it, I don't know, Test Ticket Machine. Say OK. We get this weird green thing. And I can right click on that and say Create Test Method. All right, so I'm going to select that. And it says specify a name for this test. I'll call it test, I don't know, 500 cent ticket. Doesn't really matter what you call it. All right. Okay. And now it says recording. So now everything that I do is going to get recorded so I can repeat it later. So I can right click on ticket machine and say give me a new ticket machine. And let's do what we did, exactly what we did before. I don't totally remember, but I think I made a new ticket machine for 500. And then let's just double click so we can keep an eye on it. And let's right click and say insert money, and we'll insert 300 cents. And let's insert some more money, and maybe 450. All right, and now let's print a ticket. And it prints it, and now let's print another ticket. And it says you need 250 more cents. So let's right click on this and say insert money, and we'll give it 250 cents. Okay, and now let's try and print ticket. Oh, you must insert at least 0 more cents. Darn it. Well, you know, let's insert 10 cents and see what happens. Now let's try to print, and it works. Okay, let's hit end on the recording. All right. The cool thing is now I can run that test as many times as I want. So I could change the code. Let's see, I look at my ticket machine code and I say, I wonder what I need to check, what I need to correct. Maybe I need to, I don't know, let's pretend I'm making a complete mistake. Maybe I need to turn these into plus signs. Maybe that's the problem. So I make these plus signs. There, that's probably going to fix it, right? And I say compile, and let's close this window. And actually not everything's compiled, so let's compile here. And then I can, let's clear this window too, so we start from scratch. And I can right click on here and say, run my test 500 cent ticket. And it does all those steps one after another. And I say, oh dear, look at that. You know, I've got the pluses, but I still have the 0 more cents. Let's look at my code again. And I look and I say, oh, right, of course. I didn't need to change those. Can I just undo? There we go. I didn't need to change those. Really what I needed is if balance is greater than or equal to price. Yeah, that looks better. So I will compile over here, and let's shut this window, and let's run that test again. Ooh, let's just clear this window again, and right click and say void test 500 cent ticket, and check it out. It all worked, right? Except the last time I did it, it said I have to insert 490 more cents because it printed my 2 tickets the first and second time. Make sense? Hope that makes sense. Watch the video again if it doesn't, in terms of why we got the 2 printing correctly here now. Now suppose I want to do another test. There's one more kind of test you can do in here. So let's see. Let us go back and put that bug back in there again. So balance greater than price. Okay. And let's compile. And let me close it. And oh yeah, I got to compile this. And let's make another test. So let's create one more test method. And this one we'll call, I don't know, test balance, because I really want to test the balance. And actually, let's say okay. And I'm not sure if it'll record this clear, but let's do that anyway. So what do I want to do? I want to make a new ticket machine. Let's make it for let's make it for 300 cents this time. Very exciting. Okay. And I'm just going to double click so I can keep track of what's going on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert, let's insert 250 cents. And then I'm going to insert another 50 cents. And then I'm going to right click on this and I'm going to get balance. All right. And it gives me the return value. It says it returned 300. And I want to assert that the result is equal to 300. In other words, I want to say after I do those steps, I expect that this value is going to be 300. Right? I put in, what did I do? 250 and then 50? I don't remember. You can watch the video. But I think that this should be equal to 300 at this point. Okay. And now let's try and print ticket. You must insert at least 0 more cents. And so now let's just get the price, and I'm going to assert that the price is also equal to 300, because that's something else that I think should be the case. Even in future tests, right? No matter what, if I do exactly the same series of steps, my price and my balance better be 300. So when I'm fixing my code, I better not mess stuff up there. And boy, well, let's try printing ticket again. No, 0 more cents, huh? All right, well, let's end recording here. Okay. And let's go back and see if I can fix my ticket machine. Well, if balance is greater than price, then it does this. Well, I guess I could change it and I could say if balance is less than price, maybe that'll work. Well, sure, let's do that. And let's compile, and let's compile everything over here. Now I can right check on this. And I could say test all to run all of them. Let's just run the test balance. And I run it and it says test balance succeeded. Everything is fine. All right, let's mess up this code just a little bit more. Whenever they put money in, instead of adding amount, let's add amount plus 5, okay? So I'm totally messing this machine up. Do you see this? When I insert the money, I add 5 extra cents to my balance, because then at least my print will work, right? So let's compile, and let's run that test balance method again. And now up pops an error, okay? And if I double click on that, it highlights in the test ticket machine class what's gone wrong. And it says, well, when I was running the test balance test, I did this step, ticket machine 1 is new ticket machine for 300 cents, and then I inserted money 250, and then I inserted money for 50. But then you told me that the balance should be 300, and it wasn't, right? Expected 300, but was 310. So it found that bug. So that's useful. So I know that the mistake that I made in ticket machine when I said add 5 cents, oh, that can't be it, right? So I fix that, and I look at, where's the one I was working on? The print ticket. And I fix print ticket so it says less than or equal to, and I recompile, and let's close that, and let's let's close the test ticket machine, and let's rerun that unit test again on test balance now that I've fixed all the code. And presto changeo, it says test balance succeeded, no error messages, right? No red lights. And if I view the show test results, now the test results are all beautiful and green. Maybe I shouldn't have closed that so fast, right? Okay. Last thing, if you double click on this unit test, you can look at the code that the unit test is writing. So here's my test 500 cent ticket method, right? I made a new ticket machine for 500, I inserted 300 cents, I inserted 450 cents, I printed a ticket, I inserted another 250 cents, I printed a ticket, I inserted 10 cents, I printed a ticket, right? That's exactly what we did. That's the code that you could have written if you'd wanted to write this test yourself. Similarly, this code here in the test balance looks exactly like you would expect it to, except that we have this assert equals here, where it said we're going to just check what the balance is, and we're going to say that should equal 300. And if it doesn't, then we're going to say there's an error. So that was a very, very quick, but hopefully useful introduction to you doing unit testing.